Yes, the apartment is sold, and now to the question you all been asking, okay, how did we make any money in the end, or was it just a learning experience? We made a profit of 2 years ago. We bought an apartment in Dubai without knowing anything about the process. We just got the key to the apartment, and believe it or not, but it's actually now sold.
Crazy.
Why are we doing this, you might wonder, and did we make any money in this process?
In this video, we will explain why we invested in Dubai, the process, our feelings, why we sold it, and in the end, we will explain how much we made.
Oh yes. If you are new to the channel, I'm Jacob.
I'm Malin.
And we are documenting our life here in Dubai and around the world. You can actually follow our complete journey of our first property investment here from the start if you go back to the previous videos. But we're also checking out areas here to help you at home understand better the market here and if you would like to invest. Why did we actually buy in Dubai? What was the reason behind it?
So the reason why we invested in Dubai is because we've always been interested in real estate and been investing in other places before. Now we've been based here in Dubai for the last 2.5 years. And the reason why people are actually investing here is for the first, the safety. It's a really safe country, but also the opportunity. You have the tax-free here. You have a lot of interesting investment opportunities here. It's so easy to start a company here.
We felt that why not take the leap and diversify our income and give Dubai a go. For our consideration as well, it's all about the liquidity that you're tying up to the apartment or the property. Choosing an apartment first investment is of course super scary. What we learned early on is that information and knowledge in this market is king. The more you understand, the more research you do. Like we watched YouTube videos, we were talking to real estate agents, obviously was talking to friends who went through the process before, moving around, traveling around the different parts of the city to understand a little bit more and make our own judgment call. What's mostly important, of course, is location. This goes for any type of real estate investment. And we found this area that was still up and coming, budget friendly, and that's on the metro line of Al Furjan, which you can check out the video here where we cover it in full why we think it's a great area to invest in. I think the key here is we know a lot of friends. I think this in general in life, they analyze. So it's like analysis paralysis.
They never really take a decision. Like they always look at more information, but never really take the step.
Just in decision making in general, I think this is one of our strengths, is that we dare to do things. We do our due diligence, but we also dare to take a decision and take a leap of faith. And that's what we did here as well, even if it was very scary.
Yeah, we didn't know that much about the area before. We thought, why not?
Why not give it a go? It seemed to be a good idea. So we said, F it, let's do it.
But the big reason also was the payment plan for this apartment.
Exactly. That was another one, of course, liquidity. This was a new developer that we found in this location. They weren't new. They were Abu Dhabi based, the first project in Dubai. And that made them have pretty advantageous payment plans for investors. We only paid
20% at the constructions and then 80% at the handover when we got the keys.
Exactly. So we didn't have to tie up too much cash during that process. Made us feel more secure. The risk was smaller for us as first-time buyers.
So what was our feelings during this process? So in the beginning, it was quite good. Like the buying process wasn't that hard. No. It went quite quickly, almost too quickly. We just decided, and then we got a PDF which kind of said, here's your apartment, you own it. During the process, it was fine as well. We knew it was gonna be ready in 9 months after we bought it. We read it a lot, that normally delayed over a year.
Well, they have the grace period, right?
Which means that they can delay it for a year without any fees.
So it is quite common. Obviously, it depends on the developer. Like we learned so much from the process. So now we know, of course, with some developers, they are always on time. Yeah. This is a new one. They were learning, of course, also coming into Dubai. We were quite prepared for the delay. We were not going to live there ourselves, right?
No, exactly. So it didn't really matter for us. I will say the issue for us was the communication.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, managing expectations. They could have done a much better job there, the developer, taking responsibility. But this is also like a cultural thing. And there's so many different countries coming here, like people from everywhere in the world, like different cultures. So we're learning also that there are nuances, obviously, between the types of people you deal with.
We are from the Nordic. If you say something, it should be read at that time. And like communication is the key. So you need to communicate the whole way. Here it was like, yeah, it's going to be ready in 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, they said it again and again and again.
So yeah, we learned that. And again, we were quite cool in this process, thankfully. We weren't really in a hurry, so it helped. But what we also really considered was obviously the snagging as well, that we did employ an external snagging company who went in, had to go in 2 or 3 times to fix these issues.
And I think that's also with the Nordic people, we want it really good from the first time. But here it's like they fix it a little bit and then we complaining and then they fix a little bit more. They don't fix the whole list, like they're fixing the worst thing, I will say. Kind of stand up for each other there and like you need to fix all those issues.
Exactly, you have to be quite direct, you know, and that was fine. And I think this was the interesting piece with this whole experience, like the learning experience, like because in this channel we're talking about real estate investment, so we want to practice what we preach. And this buying to being part of the construction development to being part of selling an apartment, and we've gone through all these different phases and we learned so much during this process, and it's been really fun and enjoyment. Like it's taking a lot of time obviously, but it's also for our own benefit.
So why did we sell the apartment then?
Yeah, our knowledge today is so much more than it was 2 years ago, and we are understanding more about what's happening in the market, what's happening in different territories. We still really believe in Al Furjan, where we bought the apartment, but during these 2 years things are changing. What we're seeing is that they're launching a lot of buildings, especially the same developers actually launched 4 more similar buildings in the same metro line, which will mean that of course we have to make the decision, either we rent the apartment out now long term or we sell before they launch all these buildings, because then the price, of course, the supply will increase.
And that was why we bought it in the first place. We didn't know what we were gonna do with it, so we just waited, kind of seeing what's happening with the market.
Yeah, and in worst case we thought, okay, let's just rent it out, or worst case we just sell it and we don't make any money and we learn. So I think like we still really believe in Al Furjan, but seeing as we have other opportunities on the market, we couldn't tie up too much cash into that property, and we wanted to see, okay, can we basically flip it instead?
So we got the keys for 2 months ago, and now we have handed over the keys to the new owner. So we didn't actually spend a night in the apartment, which is crazy. The selling process was even more crazy, I will say, but we will cover that in another video, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride the last few weeks for sure, but yes, the apartment is sold. And now to the question you all been asking, okay, how did we make any money in the end, or was it just a learning experience? We managed to close out with a cash buyer and we made a profit of 220,000 dirhams, which would amount to around 60,000 USD. Looking at the property price we bought it for, that means a price appreciation of around 25%. And seeing as sold it 2 months after handover, I would say it's a decent deal.
Especially because we only had to pay 20% during the construction.
Now we're happy about it. I mean, this is just increasing our hunger. It feels a little bit strange and sad still, like, because
we've been to the apartment so many times. Even if we didn't sleep there, we were there many times to have viewings and just enjoying the apartment. I really like the one. I love the light in there.
Yeah, it's lovely. So hopefully the new owners will enjoy it and see the vision as we did. This is one of the reasons why we started the channel like 2 years ago, when we didn't know anything about property investment. Now we've done our first flip here basically, so we want to share all that experience with you guys, so you also learn hopefully, and it can challenge us a bit, like, okay, is this working, is this not? And so we have a lot more planned and stored. So with that in mind, like, what will we do now? Subscribe to the channel. You will be able to see, because we got a lot more interesting about next steps and bigger and better things here in Dubai and around the world.
So see you on the next one.